There she is. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the fortnightly Business by Design session, a free industry session where we come together as industry agents across the country, and we might even have some guests joining us across the ditch in New Zealand. Thanks for taking time out of your day. This is part two of a three-part series from what we did last fortnight around helping you create some social content to then moving into part two today, actually talking about some lead generation and how you can repurpose that content creativity and marketing genius from the last session. So last session was pretty simple, basic Canva tiles to create some digital and social assets. Today, we're joined by a special guest. And the gentleman on screen here is an absolute Jedi Knight. He's smarter than me in this space when it comes to social meta ads, lead forms, awareness, engagement campaigns, you name it. He's our little Jedi Knight that we have internally. So we're super blessed and grateful to have you today, Bori's son. Thanks for joining us, brother.
Thank you very much for having me on your show, Business by Design. It's the first that I
Yes.
think I'm featuring on here. Yeah.
It is, mate. So, for those that may not know, Bori runs the Alpha State of Mind community, which is a collaborative community of industry agents. Bori is a transactional agent at the end of the day. Yeah, I think you had an appraisal this morning or an appointment that you had to go to for a
I was
property that's
just
getting ready for marketing.
checking out the house, getting it ready for market. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'll
cool.
be.
So it's super exciting that we, Tony, have the opportunity. You and I are transactional agents, but when we get guests that are actually, they're not coaches, they're not mentors, they're not trainers. These are people that are on the ground going to listing appointments today, opens this weekend, that are willing to open up and share this
Yeah.
incredible content that we're going to provide today. So, folks, if you need help in lead generation, social media domination, this is part two. So now we're going from basic part one last week to a little bit more advanced this session. And then in the next fortnightly session, I'm going to dovetail off from Bori's session today. And we're actually going to move into AI, content creation, and lead generation off the back of AI, which will be um, superior, very advanced, I guess. But Bori, without further ado, my friend, you probably need to share a screen a little bit today. I'm assuming too, so I better open that up for you. Over to you, my man.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having me on the show. First and foremost, I'm a real estate agent. I think I always will be a real estate agent. Um, yeah, but I'm just here to show exactly what works for my business, and if you want to replicate for your business. Um, yeah, so just watch on and follow along. Don't worry if you well, I'm lost for words here. Don't worry
If you
if you
if you
can't
don't
follow along,
keep
but
up,
I'm just on a Zoom. That's the missus interrupting me.
so what Bori's saying is, don't worry if you don't keep up with today's session. It will be recorded, loaded to our YouTube channel, so you can re-watch it.
Yeah,
Everything
and
that he
and
does with
also
strategy today.
and also we will be creating a course that you can follow along as well. So all those bits and pieces will be there as well. If you wanted to follow along. But just quickly, we're talking about social media ads. A lot of people get worried about social media ads and all those bits and pieces. Um, they don't know where to start. I always say, just remember you've got an audience, a group of people, and you're just advertising to them. So just think about what you want to put out to the people you're trying to get in front of. That's the best way to look at it. When we talk about algorithm, we talk about just say audience. Okay. When we say the Facebook algorithm, just say audience. That way you have a better idea of understanding how it all works. Um, so without further ado, I'm gonna share my screen quickly. Uh,
And I think that's a really good point, Bori, because I know a lot of agents out there that outsource because that's the easy option, right? And you lose a lot of
yeah,
control when you do that because nobody knows your audience better than you, right? So you know your
yeah,
clientele, you know your patch, your market, your area better than anybody you could outsource your business to. And don't get me wrong, you might be okay with spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every month to outsource this stuff. What we're trying to do is help you agents bring it in-house so you can
yeah.
focus on not quantity of leads, because we all get those calls every week. Bori, hey, I'm a lead generation company. Bori, how would
Oh,
you
it's
handle an extra
annoying.
20 appraisals per week? We all get those calls. This is trying to avoid that. Focus on quality because you know your audience better. Take control of your lead generation so that maybe you can just generate an extra appraisal or two a day rather than 20 cold quantity appraisals per week, right?
The thing with real estate marketers, digital marketers, they don't actually work in real estate. like the actual real estate industry. So they don't really
Yeah.
understand the whole industry, the ins and outs of it. They just probably just done a Google search about how it all works. But most of them have never put a contract together in their whole entire life or sat in front of a vendor. So they don't really understand what the customers want. They
Yes.
think that just, sending you a lead with a name, number, and email, maybe an address, is a lead
There's an
to them, which
opportunity.
technically speaking it is, but like they don't actually understand the conversion side of it as well. I'm not saying all of them
Yep.
don't, but most of them don't. All right. So if you're a real estate agent, you understand your industry, you should try and understand digital marketing and social media advertising because it goes hand in hand. Like with the way the world is going, everything is moving towards the internet. So you might as well just learn it for yourself. It's really not that hard. It's all trial and error. So the more you do, the more you know, because the more you screw up and mess up and make mistakes, the more you will learn. And that's what digital marketers do as well. They need at least 1 month to really understand your business, make the trial and errors before they start even generating you any leads. If you ever need inspiration into what type of ads to run, just go to the ads library. So you just type in like ads library into your browser, and there'll be the first link there. So I'm already in there.
So just to put a finer
My
point on this, Burry is
internet's
showing
gone.
us, Burry is going to show us where to go to look at everyone else's ads.
All
Okay,
right.
Yep.
so this is a library that will show us the ads that when we put in
Yeah.
real estate in this search bar as a category, we're going to be able to look at everybody's ads and see nationally just what they look like.
Yeah. So if you're in Australia, or if you're in New Zealand, wherever you are, just click your country. If you want to spy on other countries, that's fine as well. I've started doing selling homes because real estate agent is like those digital marketers they're promoting to real estate agents. So just do selling homes as the keyword, and you'll see all the ads that come up. Look, who's there? Wonderful. So you can
That's a
actually start
setup.
spying, start spying on your competitors to see exactly what they're running and what works. I really like this one here. It must be it's a Harcourt's ad, and I'm gonna recreate this one because that looks pretty professional. I like it, like just the whole look of it. So I'll just recreate a lot of my ads. I just look at the ads library, and if I like it and if I think it works, I try to look at it from a customer perspective, like a homeowner's perspective. And if I think that stands out to me, like I would click on that, then yeah, most people would click on it as well. So this one looks good. I'm gonna replicate that one, and you just keep going down the list so you see what works. A lot of people run this type of ads. It's very oversaturated, but don't worry if it's oversaturated because chances are that not many people are running that same ad in your market anyway. And let's be real, everything is saturated. Like you just got to be out there, but Facebook will still push your stuff out there anyway. And they might just drive traffic to your lead gen anyway. This one's a cool ad here. That's something you could replicate for your own area. But as you can see, you just keep going down the list and you'll see more ads being run by real estate agents. So yeah, there's a lot to look through there. All right. So
And
now
the
that you've
fact
got
that
your
these ads these ads might only be being run by an agent in their geographic area. So just because we're seeing them here in the ads library doesn't mean that they're running that ad in your marketplace. These
that's
are
correct.
ads of all agents nationally. So if that ad that we're looking at there of Burry's, I'm sure Burry's only using it in his geographic marketplace. Might be a 10-mile radius of a pin he's dropped, which we'll talk about later. But these are just ideas that you can get. There's a lot of great marketers out there, and if you're looking at the likes of Harcourts or Domain or realestate.com, you know that there's some heavy hitting marketers and designers coming up with those ads and rip and repeat. Nothing wrong with that.
So I generally go on there just so I can get inspiration on how to make my ad better because a lot of the times these are being created by professional, what do you call them, designers. And obviously, I don't have a background in design or anything like that, so in ad creative. So I just go there and I pick what works and I try to, improve my own ads as well, the ad creative, because the most important part is the ad creative or what goes out in front of the audience, because that's literally what is going to capture that lead to go and click on that. So, I have my own things here. I build everything on Canva. Like Canva's so good. If you don't have a Canva Pro account, you definitely need a Canva Pro account. Because yeah, it's literally the easiest thing to learn. You don't need to learn Photoshop or anything like that. So I've got a number of templates that I already use. I'm going to trial this one out soon too, which is a custom list of home ad to try and generate leads. But we have a multitude of other things that we use here as well. By the way, if you guys want to have these templates absolutely free, we'll be dropping a link so you can replicate that. That will be in our group at the Alpha State of Mind. So that's our Facebook group. We drop everything in there so everyone can have that all for free. Chris, you'd know about that.
Yep. What I'll do, mate, is I'll grab the link to that community group. If you want to jump in there, folks, Buri shares a lot of his goodwill and intellectual property and content that he's showing you here in there. So you don't need to build it out from scratch. You can replicate and implement.
Yeah. You have to be a real estate agent, though, only to join the group.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what company you're from. It's all right. You can join us. All right, now I'm going to get straight into the ad side of things. I'll quickly run through the awareness. I'm not going to show you how to do it. I'll just show you what I'm running for an awareness campaign and the reason why I'm doing it. So basically, I'll call it market saturation. We're going to go click into it straight away. So basically, this is the actual ad, the awareness ad that I'm running, and I'm spending $5 per day on that ad. So at the ad set level, I'm showing my ad 3 times every 7 days to the same person, and you can change that on your own ad. You could do 7 days if you want to. I wouldn't do that. And by the way, these ads are ran in the ads manager section. It is a little bit advanced on Facebook. If you guys are very new to it, there'll be different episodes that we can watch, but I want to go straight into the lead generation side. So I'm going to skip a lot of things because we've talked about a lot of things that might be out there already. So there's other videos on our YouTube channel that you can go look at if you want to learn more about, just the basic stuff. But we want to go to the advanced side of things today. So moving forward, this is the area that I'm targeting, especially Burton, Chris's area. That's my favorite. You can target by postcode, you can target by suburb, you can just drop the pin. They all work. People say they don't work and stuff. It all works. Just target some sort of audience. That's what I'm saying. And I'm using this case in this ad set. I'm targeting just the age set between 25 to 65, all genders. And we're targeting all the relationship status. For the demographics, we're targeting, Bunnings Warehouse, home ownership schemes. Because the reason why I do that is because most people who are going to Bunnings or interested in Bunnings, they're generally speaking, they're renovating their property or getting it ready for sale. So they're obviously watching Bunnings videos, and that would also have a correlation to them selling their property and wanting to know about real estate agents. So this is what I use as my demographics targeting. If I do real estate, I do the industry. I don't do the actual employees.
Agents.
Okay? So real estate industry.
Yep.
Now,
which is a good one to know because you don't want to be targeting real estate agents as employees in the industry.
Unless you're like from HR trying to recruit agents, and that's another story on it. So, if you want to, if you don't want to do all this, you can just use Advantage. What's it? Advantage Plus audience, and that's Facebook curating the audience for you, and they'll literally try and find the audience for you. Placement. Now, a lot of people in the real estate industry, they would just do like manual placement, and they would only advertise to the feed, which is just when you're scrolling through Facebook. I used to do that, and I used to get good results, and then you probably still would get good results. But I feel like the Facebook algorithm is very powerful, so I just leave it as Advantage Plus, and I let it advertise everywhere because for this ad, it is an awareness ad, and what an awareness ad is almost like a digital letterbox drop, right? So you want to be in front of everyone at every moment you can get. And the purpose of doing this is so you can build your audience, okay? When people like your posts, look at your posts, scroll through any of the posts, they get captured into an audience on Facebook. And I'll show you that quickly as well a little bit later. So the ads that I'm running at the moment for these, I've got 2 ads running. So one is a carousel with all the properties I've sold with the client standing at the front. And when they click learn more, it doesn't open here, but it just goes to my landing page, and I'll show you that in a second as well. Again, it just has a bit of a spiel, a little bit of a story of what I'm, the success stories. I think stories are better than anything else instead of like click here for a free appraisal. Like stories is what really captivates people because people want to know the whole journey, you know, of what happened, what the results were, etc., etc. All right. So when they click learn more, they'll go to my landing page that I built here. So this is a landing page that most digital marketers will charge you $3,000 or something like that just to build a landing page for you. I did it myself, and it's really not that hard. I could go through the ins and out of it, but it'll take like a whole day to show you. But basically, with technology these days and age, it's really easy to learn things and implement this. All right. So I built this myself. Do you want to jump in there?
Just to elaborate, folks, people are probably looking at this going, hey, I don't know how to build websites, man. Like, this is getting too much. I just want an ad, right? So this is the call to action from Bori's ad, right? So when someone clicks that learn more button, which we've all done, it takes them here, okay? So that's the call to action journey. Don't worry, okay? Bori's built this through Go High Levels, which some of you may be familiar with, right? So he pays a monthly subscription fee for the phenomenal power behind Go High Level. However, in the next Business by Design session, I'm going to show you how you can just build something like this using AI, either for free or a paid subscription of AI for $180 per year to build you customizable landing pages, call to action, prompts just like this one to link it back to your learn more button on all your meta ads. Okay. I just wanted to clarify that point, mate, because you look at this and you think, man, that's a 2000 web development job there. I can't afford that per ad.
Yeah. And with our Alpha State of Mind group as well, on the Facebook group, we're going to teach people how to actually build this as well. It is a little bit more complex than the Gamma app. So if you just want something built for you, I'd say go Gamma, because Gamma just does it for you in with a prompt basically and how you want it. It'll build it out for you, and then you can just edit that. This is a little bit more advanced, a little bit more. I wouldn't say coding, but just understanding. But yeah, so you need a landing page. The purpose of this whole conversation here is you need a landing page, you got, because the trust factor in leads form and customer leads and people wanting to submit anything. I don't know why, but they don't feel too comfortable with always submitting their leads through Facebook. They'd rather go to a professional looking website, submit their lead there, and that's the whole idea of it, right? We want people's leads.
And we've run sessions. Next fortnight, we'll do the Gamma app, which AI can build your landing page like this. But we've done previous sessions on Jotforms, I think, Tony, haven't we? And that's a free publication you can use to create a basic web form that people can link into to get a price update, to create a landlord property management opportunity. We might do a refresher on that in future sessions as well, Tony, on Jotforms, because I know you're the master of that now anyway, so you can host that one. So we'll cover those. I guess this is like superior landing page stuff. Next session, we're going to show you superior AI option, but super cost effective. If you just have basic knowledge and you want to tell the bot, build me this, I'll show you that in the next fortnightly session.
Yeah. So with a landing page too, you will need to set up a pixel. Then the Pixel, the Facebook Pixel. I use a Google Pixel phone, that's why I said that. So the Facebook Pixel is basically a set of codes that you implement onto your landing page, because when you send traffic to the landing page, Facebook can't detect what's going on. Like it's a different website. So how do they know what's happening on your website? So the set of code goes onto your website, and then you're able to track the customer journey of what they do, where they click, where they stop, and all those bits and pieces. That's a bit more advanced stuff. So I'm not going to go into that because that takes a whole session on itself to explain. However, there's a lot of information on YouTube. If you want to just Google that and YouTube, but you'll be able to find that information as well. Now, the other ad that I'm running is just a success story here. And I've just done the ad creative like this. I just want to make it a little bit different to what the norm of real estate agents already advertise out there, because I think if your ads look too much like an ad, people just skip past it anyway. But if you make it look more, just a little bit more B grade sometimes as well, it actually works better. Okay, so that's the awareness ad. And the reason why I run the awareness ad is to build my audience. So if you go to audience, internet's very slow today. So with Facebook, you can actually retarget the people who've watched your ads, and basically I'll make it very, very easy for you. I've got Facebook interactions here. So anyone who's interacted with my Facebook page, ads, liked, they stopped there, they've done anything on my Facebook page, they go into an audience. So there's about 1,400, 1,600 people who've clicked on my page. From there onwards, I've gone off and created lookalike audience. So basically, people who have interacted like these set of groups here, Facebook have gone out and found more people who interact like that. And each percentage that goes out is like a percentage of radius. Every percentage that goes out more, they interact slightly different. So obviously, the one that's lookalike at 1% is the most closest group that interacts like the first group. So that's the reason why I've ran my awareness ad. And if you're running an awareness ad, but you're not doing an audience and you're wasting your budget because you're basically throwing your money out there, and then when you run a lead gen ad, you're throwing your money out there to a cold audience again. This is what they call bringing the cold data into the warm set of data. So these people now, if I re-advertise to them, they're the warm audience now, if that makes sense. So on and so forth with these guys as well. They're kind of warm. They kind of interact like my audience. They might want to do business with me, but they're not exactly people who I've advertised to yet. But they're people who would most likely do business with me. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Cool. I got back to campaign. Now we're going to go into the lead gen side of things. I ran this lead gen just yesterday and I've got 2 leads already, which is pretty cool. Cost per lead at the moment is sitting at $22, which is very high in my opinion. Usually I can get this cost down to about $5 to $10. But because it's only been run since yesterday, it would take a bit of time for that to build up. So I'm hoping to get that down to about $5 to $10 per lead. But technically speaking, if I get a home seller for $22, my return on ad spend is amazing.
Well, this is why we were very clear at the beginning is we're focusing on quality and high intent of leads. Like you could get Bori and say, give me leads, and he could probably bring you 100 leads in a day of just first name, surname, email, mobile. Is it someone who actually has intent of doing something though? That's the key thing. So that's where we're focusing on your ROI is around the quality of leads because no one wants to handle 100 rubbish leads a day anyway because there's a lot of, you got to sift through all the crap to find the gold. We're just trying to get the gold, people that actually have high intent of being aware of who you are, engage with who you are, and then call to action on your lead form, obviously.
Yeah, that's correct. I'd say between 1% and 10% would do instant business with you. And the rest of the 90% is nurture leads that you have to nurture over time, just like any business. This isn't here to replace your cold calling or door knocking. It's just here to supplement that and just help you, just propel you.
That's a great point, mate. So you can see there, folks, under the Facebook leads, number 2, there's a little download arrow. If you hover your mouse over that, Bori, it'll give you the opportunity. And I appreciate you don't want to download those leads because there's sellers there. But if you download that, it will give you a CSV file, agents, right? Like this. And what you need to do is, number 1, is call those people straight away. So if you have 2 leads today and you log in tonight and you see 3, there's a new lead that's come in, download it, give them a call. Once you've spoken to them and you understand their time frame, 3, 6 months, selling to buy, whatever it might be, downsize, upsize, get them into your ecosystem of your CRM because it's helping you build the data, but it's brought you in a genuine lead as well at the same time. But the connection is super important. I see so many agents, Bori, that they get these leads and they download it in 2 weeks' time, and it's like the person's forgot about you and your call to action that they interacted with 2 weeks ago. Call them that day that they inquire on your call to action.
Yeah. And I think having the foundation as well for these leads is very important too. So for me, with these leads that come through, I actually do send them like a price update. I don't just leave them nowhere. So I've got Realtor, but if you got CoreLogic, I think CoreLogic offers a free version of that as well. But I use Realtor because I think it's a better platform, and I'll just actually send them out a quick price update too, and then I follow up them with a phone call, and then I'll put them into lead nurture system where it's emailing them once a week or whatever the case may be until the time they want to do business with me.
And just an example, that's awesome, man, and that you're giving something. So keeping in mind, folks, that lead, if you reach out to them, it's now a warm call. Like I'm running a ebook campaign, so I'm giving out a free ebook to unlock your property's full value, right? So when the lead comes in on that campaign for me, I call them, Hey, Bori, Chris Jansen, EXP Realty. I know you just recently engaged on my free ebook on how to unlock the full value of your home. I just want to make sure you got that ebook okay. And do you have any questions about it? So now it's because you've given something, because they've called to action on your ad. You've given them something with no expectations in return, and they know who you are because they've just engaged on your call to action and ad. You're giving them a call, you're checking in, make sure they've got it all, and then opens up the conversation. Hey, Bori, just as part of that, are you looking to increase your value of your home because you're just looking to do renovations, improvements, and stay where you are? Or are you potentially looking at upsizing and downsizing into the future? See
Yeah,
how
exactly
now I'm
right.
going in with a warm call and I'm opening the conversation up because I've given them something first.
Give before you take, absolutely, and that is technically speaking the warm lead, and the hot lead
Yeah.
comes to the point where they go, yeah, Chris, I'm ready to sell. Like, come over and appraise my house. I'm going to be in the market soon. Just looking for a real estate agent, and you've given me all this information, so I think you're the one. All right, so we're in the actual lead gen side of things as well, which is what generated me 2 leads since yesterday. Basically, I titled my lead. Going forward, I'm doing $30 ad spend. I just increased it yesterday because 2 leads came through, and I'm like, oh, that's great. Well, if 2 leads are coming through, then I'll increase the ad spend. I'll leave it as Advantage Campaigns budget because Facebook knows when to spend your money best. For example, last night it wasn't spending my money between 12 and 6 a.m., like 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. because that's when people aren't active. So moving forward, I mean, for this ad specifically, I think I'm doing 2. Give me a look quickly. Okay, so this is just instant forms. I'm not running any website traffic to this one. So it's an instant form lead. So if you don't have a landing page, you can use Facebook page. Like, get started on that. At least you'll learn something as well anyway. And it does work. And I'm advertising to obviously through my Facebook business page. So it's instant form leads. Going down a bit more, I don't set an end date because if you set an end date, Facebook will just maximize the ad spend. So we want to try and limit the ad spend as much as possible while generating as much amount of leads as possible. So I'll just monitor that and I'll close it whenever it's ready to be closed down when I feel like it's not working anymore. And something funnily enough that I'm doing here, right, for this specific ad set here, I'm just dropping the pin. So I just dropped the pin over the whole of Adelaide. And the reason why I've done that, and the reason why I'm not targeting the Salisbury Council specifically, is because there may be people who live like south that owns an investment property up north, and that might pique their interest into, like, you know, getting their home appraised. But the 2 leads I did receive, I just looked at them. They weren't even in the Salisbury Council. They were in a completely different area. So that's quite interesting as well, because people from other areas will still want to check the price of their property. It's like when you don't offer that information, they're like, oh, well, I want to know what's mine worth as well, you know? So that's really cool. Moving forward, this is what I mean. The audience, remember the audience that I showed you before? So this is the retarget audience that I've put here. So the people that I'm advertising to are most likely the people who are going to do business with me. If I just left this as a blank audience and just selected the age and, you know, gender and stuff like that, it's just going to go to a cold audience. Okay. So the first set of people that already saw the awareness ad, now they're seeing a lead generation ad afterwards. I hope that kind of makes sense because it took me a long time to sort of wrap my head around that too. Again, placement, I'm just leaving it as, you know, letting them advertise where they think it's best. All right, so I've got 2 ads here. I'm trialing the more volume versus high intent, which Chris was talking about before. But basically, this is where the ad is and what the ad looks like. So that's exactly the ad I'm running. I've already got 2 comments, and the more interactions you have on it, the better. If you got people commenting on it, reply to them. If they've got anything negative to say, you don't delete them because then you'll get shadow banned by Facebook. You just want to hide the comment. Or reply to them. Why are they so negative? Like, why are they so angry? Most of the time, they're like, "Oh, you real estate agents are always increasing pricing of homes." Well, that's not true because we don't control the market like that. We just advertise the home. It's the buyers who's increasing the price. I think blame the government or something like that. You know, pretty funny.
It's always the agent's fault, mate. Prices are going up too much.
It's always the agent's fault. Just don't argue with people. Show, you know, be what's the
open
word?
engagement.
Yeah, open engagement. Just be nice to people. And you'll be surprised. Some people will go, "Oh, actually, you're a good guy. I want to do business with you." So that's just a single ad. You can do a video, whatever the case might be. I created this one by looking at someone else's ad and put it together. Now you can replicate that from here, or if you really want this template, it's available for download in the Alpha State of Mind group page. I'm going to show you the lead now. So basically, this section here, the primary text, is what goes onto the ad. So whatever you write here will come and populate over here, and the headline, whatever you write here, will populate at the bottom here. I always use Learn More. I've tried the other ones. I've tried Download. I've tried Sign Up. I've tried Book Now. They just don't get good leads as opposed to Learn More. I think it's more of a softer approach. And then the actual lead form itself. So I'm just going to duplicate this one. Right. So just quickly, we've got the lead form itself here. Now, this is what we're talking about. And again, I'm trialing more volume, but if you want heaps of leads, click on more volume. But just bear in mind, they won't always be clean leads because a lot of people who've created their Facebook account a long time ago are using their old mobile numbers or using their old email address, and that's what's going to auto-populate into the lead form. But if you choose higher intent, you will get less leads, but the leads will be cleaner and your ad spend will be higher. Okay. So if you want good leads, click on higher intent. Just bear in mind that you might not get a lead for 1 to 2 days, and it will be a bit of a higher ad spend. Okay. So in the intro section portion, I just write welcome and then a little bit of a spiel about what's going to happen. And then I'll get the selling time frame. That's very important. And I try not to add too much questions here because the more questions you add here, the less likely you're going to get a lead. Just a selling time frame is fine. And moving forward to the questions itself, this portion here, you can add in more questions if you want to. Again, I wouldn't do it. Just putting this question here is fine. And then their actual details, okay? Now you can click optional now, which is a new feature in Facebook. If you don't want to add in their address, you know, it's completely up to you. I would, because how are you going to send them a price update if you don't know where they live and you're forced to call them? Privacy policy, that's I'm governed under the EXP Realty privacy policy because that's the company I work with. Whatever company you work with, you just enter in that privacy policy. Now, this is a link that goes to the actual privacy policy of our company. So you can see that there.
Whatever company you work for, office environment, if they've got a website, they should have a privacy policy attached to that website, and you just grab that URL or from that website.
Yeah. So ending, I'll go thank you. And then I'll give a little bit of a spiel here, but there's a couple of things you can do. You can let the lead chat to you on Messenger and you can start talking to them straight away, which is pretty powerful. This is a new feature. I haven't tried it yet. WhatsApp is pretty powerful as well. You can get people to call your phone directly and yell at you for not giving you an instant price update. What I do is I do view file, which is I share my ebook to the client so they can download the ebook. And I mean, maybe I can show them the ebook as well. How are we for timing?
Yeah, good, mate. We're coming up to 33 minutes, so we've got probably about another 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, cool. So this is the ebook that I've created. It's got a heap of information in here, and we've actually got this as a free download in our group as well, in the Alpha State of Mind, so you can actually make sure you duplicate it, okay? Because someone got angry for not duplicating it. So make sure you duplicate the link into your own file, and then you can edit it. But basically, what I like is I put a bunch of call to action pages in here as well. So if they're reading through here, they like it, they like decide, yeah, I like this guy, I want to do business with them, they can contact me directly here. I'm going to put a QR code in here as well, so they can scan it. When I make physical copies, because I do print this out and give to my potential home sellers, or they can just click that link there and it goes to my actual page and they can book with me as well. Yeah, so they can download there. Once you set this all up, you just hit create form. I'm not going to do that because I've already done it.
So just on that, mate, you can see there, folks, under the media, Bory's created the PDF file, which he just dropped it in there. So when they complete that, it'll give them the button at the end to download once they've got to the end of that call to action journey in the ad. And then obviously when they download that PDF document will come up. I will point out I'm trialing one, mate, at the moment because I tried to upload that file, but you must have got a smaller size than me because when I downloaded
Yeah,
that
see,
document, you had to
this
compress, didn't you?
I
You
compressed
had to
it.
compress. Yeah, that's
Go
why I was like, yeah.
find
So
yeah, no, you go. I'll let you explain it.
so that's why I loaded the document into a Google Drive, folks, and I just shared that link as the call to action. So the person, when they go to download, it just takes them to the Google Drive where they can see that beautiful document Bori just showed, and they can download it directly there themselves as a PDF option.
I just went to like this website because I had the
Yep,
same issue. This one works really well, but you can only do one document per day. I think it is. It's still free.
correct.
Go there
Yes,
and compress your file, and then you'll be able to upload it there. It went down from like 10 megabytes to
the three.
3. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
One more
Well, that's
thing
good,
before
mate.
we I wanted to show this quickly before we do wrap up. Zapier is what I use to send the leads because I don't like downloading my leads into the spreadsheet. I use Zapier.
Mm-hmm.
Just show you my Zaps quickly. Basically, as Zapier is an automation tool that does things for you. It has a lot of things, but I'm just sending my leads to my personal email address. I haven't really showed people Zapier before, so this is new to a lot of people, but it can be complicated, but they try to make it as easy as possible. There's no coding required at all. So basically, the automation is when a Facebook lead comes through, what does it do from there? So the trigger is a new lead. When a new lead is submitted, it will do something. And in this case, so we go continue, it gets the lead from my Facebook business page, and the actual lead form is that more volume, that lead form we just created before. So very, very simple. You hit continue, right? And then you can test the trigger, and what will happen is it'll pull up a data that's already submitted the lead. But if it's not, it'll create a test data, and you can use that. And then you go continue with selected record. I'll try show as much as I can because for privacy reasons, I don't want to show a person's lead, obviously. Plus, it's my lead. So what we do, the next section is we send an email. So that once a lead comes through, it automatically sends an email. All right. So I'm sending it to my personal Gmail account, and it's from my digital marketing account called Lead Launchers. Okay. And these are all implemented in already. From there onwards, we go and set the actual subject, which is the title, the email, and it populates all the person's data. So you can just enter that in itself, right? And then the body, oh, I shouldn't show that, but but basically you can add the person's lead in. It's really like click through, and then you just hit continue, and then you can hit test. And what it does is it shoots out a test email to from one email to another email. You can do it from the same email to the same email as well, because you can actually email yourself. But basically, I don't need to go onto Facebook to download the CSV file. I just get Zapier to send the lead to myself through email. So I've got everything on my email basically, and also on a spreadsheet. But that's how I access my data because I'm lazy to go download and open it.
And that's free, man?
No.
No. Okay.
Yeah,
What's Zapier costing you?
I don't even know. It's very minimal.
Okay. But essentially, so what I'm seeing there is every Facebook, this links to your Facebook ads manager. When you assign a new campaign or lead form, obviously, you then select that here, obviously, and then it's just going to send you the email data automatically as each lead comes through rather than having to manually download the CSV file.
That's correct.
Cool.
That's correct. Yeah, and it populates all. If you integrate your Facebook page properly, because there's a bit of integration that needs to work with each other, but it will come up with all your lead forms there. So you can change the lead forms, and then it will just send that lead to you. It does way more than just sending leads though. Like it's so much. It's so advanced. I don't know everything.
That is about $20 a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bori, just when I feel like I'm catching you, you create a gap again with something new, evolutionary. Like Tony, we were just playing catch up from Friday's session, and now we've got this.
Now I've got to rewatch this in slow motion.
You're watching the
Because it is you have to remember to check your, like I keep my meta ads open all day and I'm constantly refreshing to see did a new lead trickle in, did a new, so that just takes that away from you and automates it so that you get the email, all the lead
Yeah,
details there. So whether you're on the road and you're not watching your meta ads, every minute of the day, you get an
yeah.
email, you can call Bori. Bori, did you get that? The free ebook. Any questions? You happy with it? Are you looking upsides, downsides, all that stuff? That's cool
Yeah,
from an automation point of view. Very clever.
yeah. And that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, it's pretty straightforward. I know for the first time you're watching this, it can look confusing, but the more you do, the more you try, the more you do trial and error, you see what works for your market, the more you will learn.
Yeah.
I started this, like I looked at Ads Manager and I had no idea what I was doing, but I just kept advertising. I spent over $10,000 already in a course of about 3 years, which is pretty good actually when you think about it. But I say I built my business based on Facebook ads. I don't ever door knock a cold call, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, I just built my business through here, and you can do the same thing too, so long as you're willing to make errors, make mistakes, learn, and spend a bit of money, you'll be fine.
Well, I think this is the new cold calling, warm calling. This is the current version, if you like, that
Yeah,
we're putting an ad out to someone we've never met, so they're cold. They click on the ad. Now they're warm. It's as simple as that. And now we're contacting people who are thinking about real estate. They're the only people we're contacting, rather than knocking on a door or calling a person who's not going to sell for 10 years.
Yeah.
So we are, it's far more targeted. It'd be like standing in a street and yelling out with a megaphone saying, if everyone that wants to sell their house this year, come and stand out the front. That's what we're finding. That's
yeah,
what this does. It's
Yeah.
literally, the person who wants to sell their house walks and stands out the front, and you get the opportunity to talk to them. That's exactly what this is doing for us. And yes, there's a bit of technology to learn. I started doing it over the weekend, and I've not done this much before. I'm the boost button guy. Just hit the boost button. So if that's you and you're hitting the boost button, that's great that you're doing something. But this just takes it to next level. It's not hard. It's just slow it down, watch these videos in, on another screen, pause them, go and do it, pause them. The worst thing that can happen is you spend $5 and then you
Yeah.
start paying. I mean, this is not going to cost you a lot to do. There's a lot you can do for free, or all of it you can do for free. You don't need to have any of these things. And then when you've got it going and you want to go to a next level, rewatch the video and integrate some of those things Buri's using. We talked about Canva Pro, we talked about Jotform, Zapier today. These are things that are costing little bits of money, like $20 a month or $8 a month, things like that. But if you invested $100 a month into some of these tech tools, it'll take you to another level. And that's a very, very small investment for the opportunity, the income opportunity that we have as real estate agents with a lead.
And all that we encourage folks is a lot of people give up on their first ad. They get into it and they go halfway in, it's all too hard. What Bori and I and Tony know is that once you get through to about your third ad, whether it be a lead form and an awareness or an engagement campaign, it becomes like the norm. It's a bit like going to your first appraisal. You're going to bumble and probably not win it, right? And fumble your way through it. It's the same here. Generally by your third ad, you will find the flow and you'll be consistent at it. And it's a great way of not discouraging, still making the calls and the door knockings if that's what you want to do. But if you want to do things digitally, because as Bori said, you could spend $10, $15 a day and get in front of thousands of eyeballs a day versus taking 3 hours out of your day, 4 hours out of your day, trying to bang on 100 doors for maybe 20 answers of people being home, right? So you're going to just increase the volume of what you can achieve through digital and social.
And I'll give you a very real thing. Yesterday, I started a campaign for a new listing. Okay, brand new listing, got the ad, got the photos yesterday, posted it as a post on my Facebook page. There's been 6 likes and 3 shares. Yippee. I did the same post, but created it as an ad. Okay, I've had 2,167 views. I've spent $4.29.
Bori.
amazing.
I mean,
This guy was the boost guy just weeks ago. He was the boost guy.
ago.
Now he's
So for those of you that out there that think you can't do it, do you want the 6 likes or do you want the over 2,000 views of it's just one slide, new listing slide. That's all it is for a client, for a new listing. The client's paying, I've billed the client for social media marketing.
VPA.
VPA. So, I've spent $4 and
that's epic.
2,000 views. I mean, this is,
That's amazing.
my first open. We'll see how that goes. But
we all talk about the big devil that we love and hate because we're in bed with them, but we feed them essentially, and that's that big website platform and portal. That's the biggest expense in any
one with a red
right?
house.
that one, we'll keep it anonymous. We won't name anyone particular because we don't want any legal cases coming our way. But just imagine if all of us as agents did this. Could we take that beast on? Like Tony and Bori, I do weekly marketing reports with my vendors every Friday, and I literally bring up my Ignite account for that property, and I bring up my ads manager, right? And I video this. This is how simple it is. I video and I explain, Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, this is what we're seeing in Ignite, which is that big platform that everybody's on. And this is what we're seeing with views and engagements and e-brochures and save open times and email inquiries, all the stuff we can see in Ignite. Then when I go over to Meta Ads and I show them, every week the activity is 3x, 4x, 5x, because we're not just showing their home once and they shut down that website for the day and don't jump on there. We're repurposing your ad, Mr. and Mrs. Vendor. So if someone sees on Facebook and goes on to Insta, your home's going to be seen there again. If they go from Instagram to Google to YouTube that night to watch some content, guess what? Your home's going to be on those platforms and they're going to see it. So the consumers actually get it when you explain it like that. It's just us as agents aren't willing to go into this space of maybe a little bit being complacent and comfortable of just loading everything on that one platform to tackle them and take them on.
All right. 45 minutes, gents. Thank you all.
Epic session.
Pleasure to have you on, Buri. Thank you for your attendance as our special guest today. I'm Tony Fanfuller. That's Chris Jansen. We're from eXp Realty, clearly. We're not here to push eXp. If you'd like to know more about it, certainly contact one of us or just Google your nearest eXp agent. If you know an eXp agent, go and ask them for a bit more info. If you've watched this video on repeat tomorrow, next week, it's been a pleasure to have you watch. Thank you for attending, and we'll see you in a fortnight with the last part of this 3-part series of creating. We're creating leads. That's what
it'll be. The AI component.
Everything we do, everything we train on in these sessions is all about helping you get more leads in whichever ways we've talked about doing them. This time it's using tech, using Meta, and we'll be more on that in the next session.
And the Alpha State of Mind is in the group chat, both on our Facebook live event right now and in the Zoom. Jump on board. If you love this guy, Bori-san, he doesn't just talk it. He's absolutely walking it and sharing it every day. He's a collaborator at heart. He's got a big, generous heart. Jump on board, support his community, because you'll see all the free assets that he's shared with you today. Guess where they are? Right there on that Facebook group link. Whatever you do, legends, have a successful week ahead. Look forward to catching you in the next fortnightly Business by Design. Bye for now.
Thanks, see ya.